If you don't remember the original 1990s Tamagotchi craze, these lovable low-tech toys pioneered the virtual pet type of gaming. At the height of its popularity, millions of kids were doing everything they could just to keep their Tamagotchi alive. So let's take a look at how the original Tamagotchi's little grayscale electronic egg has evolved into a merchandise empire as the game has morphed to fit the modern era. The Hatching of Tamagotchi. So what exactly made the Tamagotchi so revolutionary? And more specifically, what made it so darn hard to put down? The Tamagotchi fad took off thanks to its virtual pet concept. The game simulates pet ownership, and much like your real-life pet pals, Tamagotchi needed constant attention. So players got hooked into their new hobby very quickly in the name of keeping their character alive as long as possible before restarting the cycle. The Tamagotchi pets themselves hatch from eggs in the game before moving through life cycles, and the handheld device itself is shaped as a colorful egg to match. The whole thing was the brainchild of Japanese developers Aki Maeda and Akihiro Yokoi, and the name is a combination of the Japanese words for egg and watch, playing on both the evolving pet idea as well as the handheld pocket portability. And while the Tamagotchi itself didn't invent the concept of digitized portable playtime, it might have perfected it. The evolution of video games up to that point saw the phenomenon move from bulky stand-up cabinet games in noisy arcades to the early home entertainment console revolution of Atari and Nintendo, before gaming went mobile with the 1989 release of Nintendo's Game Boy and the 1991 release of Sega's rival Game Gear devices. When first released in 1996, Tamagotchi had streamlined the whole idea and ditched the inconvenience of cartridges, the high prices, the relative bulkiness, and the need for skill and hand-eye coordination of more developed games, and created a simplified, keychain-sized plaything that retailed for less than $20 US when it launched. This added up to a huge sales success, and those unassuming little eggs were quickly poised to take over in a big way. You won't believe how many were sold every month. We've got some staggering numbers a little later. Keeping your Tamagotchi alive. In its early forms, unattended to or improperly cared for Tamagotchis could die within a day and a half of first being activated, causing backlash and frustration both with young players and the parents that paid for the toy in the first place. Meanwhile, the inability to simply turn it off or even hit a pause button stirred controversy about bringing the pets to school, and banning the toys in certain places was not uncommon. If this sounds familiar, it might have been a precursor to the controversies you see today surrounding smartphone usage in classrooms. The term Tamagotchi grandparents was eventually adopted by grumbling adults who were saddled with Tamagotchi babysitting and button pushing while their kids were off to karate lessons or soccer practice. Eventually, Tamagotchi games were balanced to be much less needy, but still fun enough to pay attention to. And to lower the separation anxiety that a pet would die if separated from its owner, the lifespans were drastically increased as newer versions hit the market. By 2007, average lifespans had almost doubled compared to the original version to around 45 days. It was up to 60 days a year later, and by 2009 averaged around 100 days per pet. Due to the delicate lifespans of the early Tamagotchis, the act of extending the life of each pet quickly took on a life of its own. Plenty of urban legends, school hallway rumors, and playground arguments broke out as speculation grew on exactly how someone could, would, or did set the record for the longest living Tamagotchi. While internet rumors over the years stretch anywhere from 89 days to 145 days alive as the world records, the fact is no verifiable or official record for the longest lifetime of a first-generation Tamagotchi exists. With the game always being turned on and the battery technology of the day being primitive, this meant the actual device wouldn't last beyond approximately 90 days or 3 months anyway, and the game itself was always designed to eventually reach the end of the pet's life cycle and start all over again. So unfortunately, there's no such thing as a lifespan record for the OG Tamagotchi. No matter what that annoying kid at school said about their cousin's best friend's babysitter having a Tamagotchi that lived forever. First time here? Then please take a second to hit that subscribe button. It's way easier than playing with a Tamagotchi. You only have to hit the button once. Tamagotchi in the 90s. The year is 1997, and for the kids filling school hallways, one thing ruled supreme: Tamagotchi. In the first year of its release, manufacturer Bandai sold 400,000 of them. Not bad. But by the following summer, the company hit the 10 million unit mark in July 1997. They'd sell 1 million more Tamagotchis a month to reach 13 million sold by October 1997, and at that point, the little guys were everywhere. The in-game backstory for Tamagotchi is that they were an outer space alien species requiring human help to raise them from their original egg state. But at the peak of Tamagotchi mania, the most alien thing was seeing someone without one. The device's attached keychain design allowed them to not just exist in pockets, but also attached to belt loops, backpacks, bike handles, binders, and almost anywhere else you could think of. Much like today's smartphones, it quickly became a strange sight if you saw someone with a free hand who wasn't checking their device. In this case, though, it was a Tamagotchi screen instead of a phone or tablet. The phenomenon was so big that 1996's best-selling console game, Nintendo's Super Mario 64, which sold 2.9 million units, saw sales eclipsed by the much lower-tech handheld pocket game. Nintendo founder Shigeru Miyamoto later joked he thought Mario 64 had lost the video game war to Tamagotchi. 2 years after its release, sales numbers in early 1998 accounted for 40 million worldwide units sold, half of which were purchased in Japan alone. Thanks to the Tamagotchi connection era, according to the company's official website, by March 2023, they'd sold more than 91 million units worldwide since 1996. Whether fueled by nostalgia or just good old-fashioned fun, the classic handheld Tamagotchi has shown that old school will always be cool. Tamagotchi Today. Fast forward to today and the Tamagotchi is still around, but it's done a little shape-shifting since it first appeared on the scene. After the original model's popularity waned, the brand made a triumphant comeback in the 2000s by releasing Tamagotchi Connection in 2004. This design used infrared communication that allowed two Tamagotchis to connect and be played together. The success of Tamagotchi Connection kept these versions coming until the late 2000s, with PC connectivity introducing the online community of Tamagotchi Town and the family aspects expanding from just one baby to a combo of up to 5 parents and kids. Suddenly, these once one-dimensional alien eggs were all grown up and extremely busy. By the smartphone age, physical Tamagotchis were still going strong, but the Bandai Corporation wasn't going to miss out on the new age of mobile gaming. In March 2013, the Tamagotchi Life mobile game debuted for iOS and Android, and the next year its sequel, entitled Tamagotchi Life Angel, hit the App Store and Google Play in February 2014. Those games still used the virtual pet concept, but with updated graphics and the ability to see everything in color rather than the original grayscale black and white. March 2018 saw the release of the upgraded and expanded follow-up My Tamagotchi Forever app, which included a variety of minigames and introduced new life goals for the characters, like getting a career in Tamagotchi Town. Tamagotchi Uni, released in the summer of 2023, might be the apex of the whole experience, as it's the first original-style handheld model to include built-in Wi-Fi connectivity. It also upgrades the original in-universe concepts of Tamagotchi Town and Tamagotchi Planet to the Tamaverse, a concept right in line with Facebook's metaverse. Except, of course, it's for Tamagotchis rather than people. Most recently, we saw the January 2024 release of Tamagotchi Adventure Kingdom on Apple Arcade as the once humble pixelated Pocket Pal continues to get even more high-tech. Tamagotchi and Pop-Culture. Of course, the original has had to remain a big enough cultural hit to be imitated, and Tamagotchi's popularity extended beyond the toy itself. It inspired all kinds of merchandise, including clothes, Happy Meal toys, and even appearances in TV shows and movies. 2 full-length animated films came out in the late 2000s, there was an animated short film in 2016, and a handheld Tamagotchi even made an appearance in the Disney Pixar 2022 animated film Turning Red. All of this has helped keep the little toys that beep in the public eye. Tamagotchi has even inspired nearly a dozen songs over the years that either uses its name in the title or is referenced in the lyrics. Celebrities have also been in the mix promoting the product too, with the Tamagotchi Life Era game adding influencer Ans Falcon and actress Jeanette McCurdy as brand ambassadors. Even as recently as 2023, the Tamagotchi Uni release featured TikTok star Charli D'Amelio as yet another high-profile name playing and pushing this timeless virtual pet game. It's all proof that Tamagotchi has spread a legacy much larger than its little cute keychain beginnings could have ever imagined. The Tamagotchi Legacy. While Tamagotchi certainly perfected the virtual pet genre, it wasn't the first of its kind. A 1995 virtual pet PC game titled Dogs and its 1996 sequel Cats both predate the Tamagotchi, but being a desktop game and lacking the pocket mobility of Tamagotchi kept it from achieving the same level of success. Giving its start as an alternate virtual pet line by Tamagotchi's manufacturer Bandai, the Digimon franchise launched in 1997 and eventually became a global empire of toys, anime, video games, and card games. The whole thing was spawned as a direct result of Tamagotchi's success, and over the years, that same success has inspired plenty of copycats and knockoffs. On the heels of the Tamagotchi boom, 1997 saw Tiger Electronics release their line of Gigapets, and that same year Playmates released their version called Nano Kitty. Meanwhile, toy manufacturer Thinkways obtained a Disney license to create their version called Virtual Friends, which focused on Disney favorites including characters from Toy Story and The Little Mermaid. Thinkways even went as far to include what they called a parent-friendly pause button to cut down on the controversy caused by Tamagotchi's never-ending gameplay. And while the game giants at Nintendo had previously laughed off Tamagotchi's success, they too saw dollar signs and released virtual pet versions of their hit Pokemon character Pikachu in 1997 and 1998. The website Neopets debuted in 1999, featuring a vast interactive online world of virtual pets and their society, and even as recently as January 2023, the in-progress MetaPal's virtual pet browser extension has admittedly been inspired by the two inventors' childhood fun with Tamagotchi. The Tamagotchi Effect. Before the end of the 90s, the term Tamagotchi Effect had been coined. The symbiotic give and take of the Tamagotchi effect is a basic descriptor for the psychological effect and emotional attachment humans can develop with non-human devices. Kinda like how you felt about your first car, the attachment to video game characters we play vicariously through, or the way you might involuntarily say please and thank you to your GPS as it guides you on a drive. Not only did Tamagotchi perhaps best understand this connection, but they also understood that it could be big business. And as much as the Tamagotchi has many parallels with modern smart device addiction and attachment, fans today often point out that the basic and straightforward nature of Tamagotchi provides a throwback, nostalgic, and simplified form of tech connection that provides a break from today's overwhelming algorithms. We're not sure what the Tamagotchi holds in the years ahead, but we're quite sure that the connection between virtual pet and real-life owner will continue to be part of the toy's future. If you're looking for another nostalgic deep dive into the past and present, stay right here for another video. And share your own Tamagotchi memories in the comments below. We'd love to hear your stories.